Hello and welcome to the news on Enyimba TV. We are reaching you from the commercial city of Aba in Abia State, Nigeria. First, the headlines. Abia State government promises to pay salary arrears owed workers in trenches. Abia PDP challenges Governor Otti to produce list of 90 rehabilitated roads within 1 year. Governors assure workers better wages will result from ongoing negotiations. Thanks for joining us on the news at this time. My name is Esther Chima. Now the news in details. Abia State government has announced plans to enumerate and re-register tricycles and motorcycles in the state in an effort to curtail crime associated with motorcycles and tricycles. Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Uzo Machuku, who is also the chairman of the Abia Harmonized Task Force, announced this while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the meeting he held with stakeholders in the state transport sector, stating that the registration is free of charge. The commissioner said the essence of the registration and restriction is to secure lives and property of innocent citizens and residents of the state. It is no longer news that Abia State government has restricted the operational time of commercial motorcyclists and tricycle operators in the state between 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. in an effort to curb the increasing menace of street robbery and criminal activities in Aba. The restriction will take effect from July 1st in all major council areas of Aba metropolis. Enyimba TV and Radio Limited spoke with some tricycle operators and residents in Aba to find out what they think of the policy. Our correspondent Amarachi Osondo has the rest of the story.
The rate of robbery at late evening and early morning hours is alarming in Aba. According to the state government, the decision is part of the necessary measures to tackle the rising menace of street robbery in the state. We spoke with a tricycle operator who expressed his delight regarding the new instruction by the government. He asserted that it is a welcomed development in Aba because of its positive effect in reducing the menace of incident robbery in the state.
What I heard yesterday about the time from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning from 1st of July is a welcome development to the people of Abia State.
He further alleged that some group of people pose as tricycle operators to carry out illegal activities in the state.
Governor should look and find a way of good security, because those people who use keke to rob people, many of them are not keke drivers. They just use keke to rob people. So governor should look for a means of security, which we go and operate, because these people, they are not robbing people in the night only. They are doing it even in the daytime.
Tricycle operators and residents of Aba have reacted positively to the new directive by the government and are willing to adjust to the new developments. Amarachi Osondo reporting.
Operatives of Operation Crush have raided a popular hard drug bank in Aba. The bank was raided by the operatives of the state's Joint Security Task Force. 4 persons were arrested and some illicit drugs, including Indian hemp and methamphetamine, recovered. The operatives also destroyed and burnt the shanties erected by the hoodlums who used them for their hideout. The bank, popularly known as Black Kingdom, is notorious for buying and selling of hard drugs and has been raided by security agencies, including officials of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Nigerian Army has confirmed arresting one Obinna Obi in Abia State for alleged links with the indigenous people of Biafra and the Eastern Security Network in the state. Director of Army Public Relations, Major General Nnamdi said Obinna was arrested by troops during a raid operation in conjunction with other security agencies and vigilantes at Umuako in Umunoch local government area of Abia State. Family members of Mr. Obinna and President General of Umuako Isochi had sent a silver soul to the military high command over what they described as abduction of their son by a military team led by a certain major to an unknown destination. His younger brother, who sent the SOS, narrated how Obi was whisked away in a commando style without any explanation from the military team. Abia State government says it will pay salary arrears owed workers civil service in trenches. Commissioner for Finance Mike Akbara, who made this known during a press conference in Umuahia, said the present administration inherited a debt of 16.5 billion naira of salary arrears owed to workers in state-owned institutions of learning. Akbara said that the government would commence payment of the salary arrears owed workers of state-owned institutions of learning by July or August, with the hope of completing payments by the end of the year. According to him, the past government owed Abia State Polytechnic 33 months, College of Education Arochukwu 22 months, and Abia State University 11 months. People's Democratic Party PDP Abia State chapter is asking Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Otti to name the 90 roads he rehabilitated in 1 year, as stated in his last broadcast to the residents of the state for the people of the state to verify. In a statement signed by the acting publicity secretary of the party, Elder Amma Abraham, the party also urged the governor to state the cost associated with the road contracts, as well as show proof that due process was followed in the award of the road contracts. The statement explained that the PDP administrations in the state made public its claims about road construction by publishing the names of the roads it constructed and followed due process in contract award, stressing that true governance rests squarely on transparency and accountability in the conduct of government businesses. President Bola Tinubu is asking Nigerians to support the war against drug abuse, an initiative of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. The president, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, said the support is necessary to fight against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in the country. Speaking on the occasion of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, otherwise known as World Drug Day, at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, President Tinubu assured the Anti-Narcotics Agency of his administration's support. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Party, is calling on state governments to end open defecation to prevent the outbreak of infectious diseases like cholera, typhoid fever and tuberculosis. The minister, in a monitored television interview, also called for a multi-sectorial approach to curbing the spread of cholera. He said the federal government has mobilized resources to contain the spread of cholera in the country. Ahead of today's National Economic Council meeting, governors last night agreed to adopt a common agenda on some of the issues currently bothering the nation. The president is, however, scheduled to attend the NEC meeting today. According to the agenda of the meeting of the governors held last night and made available to newsmen, they will discuss the minimum wage and local council autonomy, amongst others. In a communique signed by chairman of the Governors Forum and Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrasak, the governors assured Nigerians that better wages will result from the ongoing negotiations between the government, private sector and organized labor. They also deliberated on other issues affecting the country, including the ongoing fiscal policy and tax reforms. Federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities held a meeting to avert an industrial action by the union. The parley, which started at about 4:30 p.m. at the Ministry of Education's office in Abuja, ended around 6:40 p.m. Both sides expressed optimism that with the commencement of negotiations, all outstanding issues would be amicably resolved. Speaking on the parley, the Education Minister, Tahir Maman, and ASUU President Emmanuel Asodeke agreed to kickstart communication process to avert the planned industrial actions by the union. Federal government says that there was no importation of dirty fuel into Nigeria, countering the recent position of an official of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Speaking through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority while reacting to claims of dirty fuel importation to Nigeria, the government stated that refined petroleum products with high sulfur content were last imported in February, stressing that these had since been addressed by the regulator. Oil marketers and local refiners of crude oil in Abuja also met with the regulator in Abuja, where oil marketers stated that although local refineries were producing some of the refined products, this will not stop marketers from patronizing other sources while also buying products from the indigenous producers. A minor fire incident was recorded at the affluent treatment plant of the Dangote refinery in Lagos. The fire was immediately put out as firefighters and first responders swiftly rose to the occasion. Viral videos showed thick plume of smoke billowing into the sky from the facility located at Lekki Free Zone near Lagos. In a statement, a spokesman for the company, Anthony Chejina, said operations at the refinery was not affected in any way. The $20 billion facility, sited in Lagos and owned by the billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote, commenced operations last December with 350,000 barrels per day. Labour Party National's Vice Chairman Ayo Olorunfemi is asserting that the party offers the best platform for Peter Obi to contest and emerge victorious in the 2027 presidential election. Obi, who ran for presidency under the Labour Party in the 2023 election, has come under pressure from some members of his obedient support group to quit the party, which has been hit by crisis after the elections ahead of the 2027 polls. Responding to the call for Obi to leave the party, Olorunfemi said true obedience won't suggest such action to Obi. He insisted that the former Anambra State governor remains the best president Nigeria is yet to have, adding that he will emerge the winner in 2027. Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is appealing the June 19 ruling of Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court, Abuja, against his objection to the jurisdiction of the court to subject him to trial. Kanu, through his lead counsel, Aloy Ejimako, filed a notice of appeal at the Court of Appeal in Abuja. Federal government of Nigeria is the only respondent and to be served through her counsel Adeboyenga Awomolo SAN. The grounds of the objection are 7 and mostly predicated on provisions of the Constitution, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 and other pertinent statutes. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has sued the Kaduna State House of Assembly over the Assembly's claim that his 8-year administration allegedly siphoned 432 billion naira, leaving the state with huge debt liabilities. El-Rufai filed a fundamental rights suit at Federal High Court in Kaduna against the State House of Assembly. The suit filed by the ex-governor's lawyer, Abdul Hakim Mustafa, a senior advocate of Nigeria, challenged the report of the Kaduna Assembly Committee, which indicted El-Rufai for alleged corruption. El-Rufai is asking the court to declare the report of the Assembly probe as null and void, having not been given the opportunity of fair hearing over the allegations leveled against him and his administration by the committee. Rivers government says a protester who was allegedly injured from an explosion on Tuesday has been detained. Rivers State Commissioner for Health, Adeze Ore, in a chat with Enyimba TV News, had called for the arrest of any patient with injuries suspected to be caused by explosives. The suspect had sustained severe injuries during the failed attempt, but was quickly taken away from the scene by others. The injured protester was among political leaders who held a protest march in support of the decision of police officers to occupy the 23 Rivers local government secretariat. The suspect is presently receiving treatment at the River State University Teaching Hospital, RSUTH. Meanwhile, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the failed dynamite explosion in the state capital was planned by the opposition to justify their call for a state of emergency in the state. He said the opposition particularly picked Hotel Presidential in Port Harcourt as a spot to detonate the dynamite because they knew that some federal lawmakers who visited the state lodged in the hotel. Governor Fubara, while receiving a delegation of the Senate Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, said the failed dynamite explosion was planned by the opposition to push the call for a state of emergency in the state. He urges the committee members, some of whom are former governors, to advocate for a truce. You're watching Enyimba TV News. After the short break, the news continues with foreign, business and sports updates. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Now the news continues. Kenyan President William Ruto says that a bill containing contentious tax hikes would be withdrawn dramatically, reversing course after more than 20 people died and Parliament was ransacked by protesters opposed to the legislation. But he warned that the withdrawal of the finance bill would mean a significant shortfall in funding for development programs designed to help farmers and school teachers, among others, as the East African nation struggles to lower its foreign debt burden. Ruto's administration has been taken by surprise by the intensity of opposition to its tax hikes, with protests breaking out across the country last week. The largely peaceful rallies turned violent when lawmakers passed the legislation and police fired live rounds into crowds that ransacked the partly ablaze Parliament complex. And now from the business sector, Ethiopia, Turkey and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, have stripped Nigerian passport holders of previous privileges they enjoyed, including visa on arrival, e-visa and outright passport issues. Turkey no longer allows Nigerian passport holders to obtain its e-visa, which used to be a seamless process enjoyed by citizens in the past. In 2022, the United Arab Emirates banned nationals of Nigeria and few other African countries from entering its capital city, Dubai. Despite several interventions of the Nigerian government, the visa ban is yet to be lifted. Though Festus Keyamo, aviation minister, said the UAE will lift its ban on Nigerians in October, nobody knows whether this will come to fruition. Similarly, Ethiopia stopped issuing a visa on arrival to Nigerians 2 years ago and has refused to reverse it till date. And from our sports desk, ambitious Abia Warriors became the first of the 4 finalists in the 2024 President Federation Cup Grand Finale to arrive in Lagos, and coach Bethel Oji has no doubt that his Umuahia Giants will come good on Saturday at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. A great player and former cup winner himself, Bethel Oji will be banking on the precision of forward Samson Obi and Sunday Megwo when Abia Warriors confront the 2-time champions by the Lagos waterfront on Saturday evening. Abia Warriors reached the men's final of the President Federation Cup 4 days after ensuring they will play in the Nigeria Premier Football League for the 12th consecutive season come next season. And with that sports story, we wrap up this edition of the news on Enyimba TV at this time. But before we go, here is a recap of the top stories. Abia State government promises to pay salary arrears owed workers in trenches. Abia PDP challenges Governor Otti to produce list of 90 rehabilitated roads within 1 year. Governors assure workers better wages will result from ongoing negotiations. Now that's our package of the news for now. Please join us for more updates in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Click on the notification bell to receive alerts when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching. On behalf of the production crew, my name is Esther Chima. Thanking you so much for watching.